Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Virtual Preschool. I am so glad you have decided to join me for circle time today. Let's go ahead and figure out what day of the week it is. So the last day of school we had was Wednesday, Thursday. So today is Friday. Yes, so let's move our rainbow arrow down to Friday. And who remembers the name of our month? April. Yes, and remember, April showers bring May flowers. All right, let's go ahead and count the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and what comes next? 15. And let's figure out our pattern. Umbrella, umbrella, flower, flower. Umbrella, umbrella, what comes next? Flower, yes. So we have a number 15 with a flower on it. All right, and so that was yesterday. It was a 3's class day. 13, 14, 15, what comes next? 16, and our pattern, umbrella, umbrella, flower, flower. Umbrella, umbrella, flower, flower. Yes, so we have a number 16 with a flower on it. All right, so let's say our whole date. Today is Friday, April 16th, 2021. All right, so now we all need to look out the window to see what the weather is like. When you look out your window, is it partly cloudy, cloudy, sunny, windy, rainy, stormy, or hopefully not snowy? All right, and then you need to step out your door to see if it is burning hot, hot, warm, cool, cold, or freezing cold. And remember to check your weather app to find out what the number is for the temperature. All right, so this week we have been talking all about birds, right? We talked about how all the birds that flew south for the winter are coming back now that it's spring, right? And they are building nests and laying eggs, and eggs are hatching into new baby birds, right? We read a couple different books about that. And so today, let's find out what our book is in our mystery envelope. There we go. All right, so unfortunately, this book has a big piece of paper in the middle of it, and that's because I had to request this book from a different library. And when they do that, when they bring them from a different library, they put this big piece of paper on the front, and it says, "Do not remove." So I can't take it off. So unfortunately, a big section of the picture on the front is kind of hidden, isn't it? But this is called Whose Nest Is This? So let's see what we have here. Springtime is here. There is work to be done as animal parents make nests for their young. Using pebbles or wood chips, even mud, spit, and leaves. Many creatures make nests. Whose nests are these? A walnut-sized nest rests high in a tree. Its 2 pea-sized eggs are a wonder to see. Fashioned with spider silk, leaves, and green moss, this nest lined with plant fluff is velvety soft. Whose nest is this? Does anyone know? I'll hold it up here. And you might recognize this bird right here. It's a hummingbird's nest. I got to see a hummingbird's nest one time when we went on a field trip to Wassam Fruit Farm. Blobs of mud, gobs of mud, dry, hard, and stiff. These spit and mud structures are cemented to cliffs. Here, hungry young chicks, as they cheep, cheep inside, hundreds of huts dot the rocky hillside. Whose nest is this? Does anyone know what kind of bird that is? It's a swallow's nest. With a flick of her flippers, she clears the debris and digs out a pit in the sand by the sea. She lays leathery eggs, 100 or so, and buries them all in a deep sandy hole. Whose nest is this? This one's not a bird. Did you know other animals make nests besides birds? What is this? Yes, it's a sea turtle's nest, even more specifically. Snuggled near reeds in a wet, marshy spot, this nest keeps the eggs warm as it starts to rot. Anchored securely, it's just like a boat. The odd bowl-shaped nest is constructed to float. Oh, remember that other nest that we read about in the other book about nests? And I said, oh, that's kind of like if we lived in a houseboat, right? Whose nest is this? I hope I'm saying this right. Does anyone know what this bird is? It says it's an eared grebe. I hope I'm saying that right. Bending green stems, he chews and he weaves. He limberly climbs on his aerial trapeze. With delicate paws and sharp little teeth, he crafts a grass nest slung from tall stalks of wheat. Oh, wow, that's interesting, isn't it? Whose nest is this? Does anyone know what this animal is? It's a harvest mouse. A chalky white egg, only one, rests alone on a towering mud mound that's shaped like a cone. Thousands of chicks crowd the banks of the shore, and when this egg hatches, there will be one more. Whose nest is this? Does anyone know what this animal is? Yeah, it's a flamingo. It's a Caribbean flamingo's nest. This nest-building male tries so hard to please. His nest is decked out with hair ribbons and keys. Flowers, caps, berries, most items are blue. He's hoping a female will say, yes, I do. Whose nest is this? These birds are so interesting. Do you know what it is? A bowerbird. Long strips of bark, tough grasses, and vines are wrapped round a branch like pieces of twine. Hung from a limb, the porch sways in the breeze and rocks like a cradle high in the trees. Whose nest is this? Anyone know what kind of bird this is? It is a Baltimore oriole. A hard-working papa, he won't stop to rest. With bits of green algae, he forms a fluffed nest. To hold it together, what does he do? His body produces a waterproof glue. Wow. Whose nest is this? So it's some kind of a fish, isn't it? It says it's a 3-spined stickleback's nest. Imagine a rocky, hard nest. Can that be? Picture an egg balanced delicately. High on a cliff, this nest rests on a ledge. Whew! It rolls in a circle, not off the ledge. Whose nest is this? This is a common emure's nest. Isn't that interesting? On a cliff, basically on rock, huh? She snatches up plants with her terrible teeth and piles the foliage on a 10-foot wide heap. Her eggs incubate in this super-sized thatch. One day in late August, we reptiles will hatch. Whose nest is this? It's a crocodile's, or excuse me, an alligator's nest. Silly me. All right. A papery palace that's fit for a queen. It's unlike most nests you've probably seen. Each nursery chamber, that's those little holes there, has 6-sided walls. One egg in each. There are hundreds in all. Whose nest is this? Anyone know what kind of creature this is? It's a paper wasp. A woodpecker lived here, but not anymore. The new owner moved in, and she's guarding the door. A giant squirrel makes quite a fine home for a bird that's too lazy to build one of her own. Whose nest is this? It says an elf owl. That's neat. Inside a cactus. How interesting. There are mammals and reptiles and insects who nest. Birds, too, build unique nests that suit them the best. Some nests provide shelter, and some are for show, but the best nests are those in which young babies grow. All right, so, wow, it turns out that birds are not the only creatures that build nests. Isn't that interesting? All right, so I have a new work to show you today from your packet. In your packet, you have something that looks like this. It has several different kinds of birds that you might see on it with their names. And then you also have several of the same birds drawn. Oh, you can see I kind of started drawing that one. They're dotted line drawings on each of these pages. All right, and they have their names on them. And these are the same birds that you see here. So what you're going to do is first you're going to use a pencil to trace the dotted lines. All right, now this is a kind of a big work. It might take you a little while, but that's okay. And you can do it over more than a day or a week even, however long it takes you. So I'm tracing the dotted lines of my owl here. Okay. Now I'm not going to make you sit and wait for me to trace the whole thing, but you can see how I trace some of the lines there. So trace all the lines. And then you're going to look at the picture on your paper to see what that bird looks like. So what colors are on that bird. And you're going to use your crayons or markers or whatever that you would like to use to color your bird like the one in the picture. Okay? So that is what that work is. So that is what I have to show you today. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And so let's see here. Today is Friday. Oh, so packet pickup. So don't forget about packet pickup. All right. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.